I can't help falling in love with you. I'm live. I'm live. Hello. I don't know if anyone is out there, but hi. I am Victoria Wilder, and welcome to my home. I'm not wearing pants, and there's a huge hole in my boxers, and that's just something I thought you should know. So I am Victoria Wilder, author of Lullaby of the Lilith, as well as 10 Spells for the Healthy Witch and Bottom Up Core Songs of My Soul. And I forgot to bring the collection that I also helped write called Voices of Christmas. It's a collection from the Voices of Color Facebook group with 3 authors from that group that is, or me included, so 2 other authors, and it's awesome. And we write stuff. It's a Christmas anthology, which is now in paperback, and you can find it online. I'm sorry I forgot to get it, and I can't get up and go get it because, as I said, I am not wearing pants, and that is the legit 100% truth. I do, however, have my beautiful, wonderful Kingdom Hearts blanket. Look at this guy. I love this blanket. I've had it for a few years. I think I got it from an old roommate, actually, that I don't even talk to anymore. But yeah, I got this lovely blanket, and it's cute and it's warm and it's cozy, and it keeps me nice and toasty on days like today when it's not freezing outside. So I don't really want to have the heater on, but it is also not warm in my apartment. Sorry, there is dust across the top of my camera, and I just could not stand it when I saw it. Anywho, today is a Wednesday live. If you have been on the channel before, then you know what we do. We write or we create for about 20 minutes, and in between, we're going to chat and talk and whatever. Feel free to say hi in the live chat. Let me know how you're doing. I'm not wearing color on my lips today because the lipstick that I have actually ends up peeling the skin on my lips every time I wear it, and I love the lipstick. I love the colors, but that's probably not great that it peels my lips. What are you doing? What are you doing? Where she's gonna like knock all those books down. It's gonna be like a domino effect. And if that happens, fun, wonderful. But anyway, yeah, so here we are, pantsless, colorless, and idealist. So today, what I would like to work on, say hi in the comments if you'd like. Okay, so what I was going to work on was going to be some video creation for my next online course. I do have a mini course on Udemy, and I call it a mini course because it's actually one part of a full course that I am working on to put on my website. And there are some things I need to tweak for a later part of that. So I think I'll be doing that tonight. I wanted to work on the actual video for the second mini course, but that would be a little complicated, I think, with doing a live video. I'm not sure how I would make that work. I didn't really figure out the logistics of that yet. I thought maybe I could wear my headphones and you guys wouldn't have to like hear me. But honestly, I feel that at this point, writing is just the thing to do. So I am going to do some writing. I am going to do some script writing for later versions. So if you have never heard me talk about this course before, I do talk about it on my other Facebook page, Maiden Circle Covenant Academy, and I talk about it on my blog and stuff like that, but I haven't really talked about it on this channel because this is a writing channel, not a pagan channel. So I try to keep those things in place for my own sanity, and also because on YouTube, if you like certain types of things, that's what they'll recommend. So I try to keep different sets of recommendations, if that makes sense, so that like one account has writing stuff, one has pagan stuff, one has a bunch of weird YouTube drama, one is, I think it's just 3. But yeah, so I have this course that I came up with in like 2014, or like the basic seed idea was in 2014. And over the years, it's evolved a lot for me to try to get this out because I want this to be a long-term thing. I want this to be something people can use to affect their lives in a very significant way. And that means it's going to take time. It's not something that you can like finish in a week. The mini courses, even those should take about a month to do. If you breeze through them, and I mean, you could get all the answers right on the quiz. You can have all the homework done in probably 2 hours. But if you do that, then you're missing a lot of what the purpose of the course is, because it's a lot of meditation. It's a lot of spending time in thought. It's asking you to spend days at a time on one specific subject, to actually meditate and take the time to understand something, as opposed to just running through it and then recording that knowledge in your head for that week and then being like, okay, what's next? So that's the structure of the course. And it's changed in the way that I am presenting it over the last, 5 years. And it's changed a lot, you guys, like a lot. And it's going to change even more in the future. But the structure I have right now is one I like. It's just very, very, very tedious to put together. So I have to write the scripts for videos, then I have to record the scripts, then I have to edit the audio for that, and then I have to make an actual video with like slideshows, because I don't do a face video in that. Because it's scripted, it's just harder for me to do the script and like be able to look in the camera and like be there. So I'd rather just read it off the screen and use audio and use slideshows and stuff. So then I have to make that video and make sure it's enough, make sure it's high quality, make sure it looks good, make sure it's clear and understandable, and make sure that I have enough footage for Udemy when I'm doing the mini courses. And I'll only be doing 3 on Udemy, and the rest will be on my website. But it's a lot, you guys, and it's taken so very long. Like I said, it's been about 5 years since this idea started, and it's been about maybe 2 years since I started this particular process, the format that I'm doing it in now. And the part of the reason it's taken so long is because I was working on Lullaby of the Lilith. I was working on my other writing, and I tend to put that as my #1 priority. This is my like sole priority, if that makes any sense. This is something I'm doing for my spiritual work. This is not something I'm doing to make money. The course hopefully will make a little bit of money for Maiden Circle, just to keep the business itself running. But for me personally, I'm not trying to make profit from Maiden Circle. I'm not trying to, like, this is just something that I need to do because I felt called to do it. So since I rambled enough and we've already been here for 7 minutes, we'll start on the 10, which is 3 minutes from now. And I will be working on scripting a later lesson, actually the end of a later lesson, because I did most of it and then like got distracted, I guess. I think the last time I worked on scripting, because I've been recording what I already have and editing and doing all that stuff, and then also working on the book, I think that was before I published Lullaby. So the last time I've been writing in this project was like however many months ago. May was, what was that, 7 months ago. So here we are. And what I'm going to be working on today, if you're curious, is a lesson that is called Magic with a K. So it's all about spell work. It's all about magic. It's all about working the craft. And like the objectives for this lesson is, spellcraft and how and why magic works, and how to use your tools in spellcraft, and the different types of magic and the differences between magic in fiction and in witchcraft, which is something I really want to talk about in the future. I think I will eventually start doing videos again that are pre-recorded. But let's see. Oh my gosh, it's only been 1.5 minutes since I said we have 3 minutes, which means we have another 1.5 minutes, because math is a thing I can do. Is math a thing you can do? So here we are. I got my water in my wine glass because it makes me feel fancy. I got some granola in a plastic cup so that it doesn't have to get all, so you don't have to hear the plastic. Oh my, what was that? Wow. Bueno más, if you are writing, if you are here, I would like to give you a prompt. And the prompt is, your character suddenly has magical skills. What do they do? So magical powers. And like I said, I am working on this lesson. It's towards the end. There's like each lesson or each section has like 5 to 8 to 10 mini lessons or whatever. And those are the things that I'm scripting, each of those mini lessons. And total, there's like 100-something mini lessons. It's a lot. And yeah, I am working on the last main mini lesson, and then there's going to be a recap. So that is included. We have 10 seconds. I am going to set the timer for, let's do 10 minutes. 7 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go. I know, that's not how time works. Sorry, I need to read what I wrote last. Cool. So that was 10 minutes. 10 minutes always goes by faster than I expected it to. But I was able to write 181 words that time, so yay. But there's no nano, so I don't have to put that on the nano site. And the word count doesn't really matter in this. This is not, I don't have any word count goals. The idea for this particular project is to just get it done, short or long, regardless. So if you are out there and you're doing some work, let me know. I can see someone's here, so let me know how it's going for you. I'm going to pop some more granola in my mouth. So that went okay. I do think I would like to probably get back into the sprint in like, I don't know, 5 minutes? 5 minutes on the 30. Let's do it on the 35. So technically, I think that's about 4 minutes from now, 3.5-ish, 3 minutes. Cool. So, sorry, one of my best friends just texted me some pretty happy news. So, hopefully, it gets even happier. How are you guys doing out there? I'm okay. Today has been an interesting day so far, and I've honestly not done anything other than shower and I guess hang out with my cat. But I had a nightmare, and after the nightmare, it was really kind of tough for me to just get out of bed. I was just like, I started feeling, I don't know, depressed, I guess, and sad, and just like, I didn't want to move. I didn't want to do anything. I was just like, well, that's what my brain wants to do. Then how about I just stay here and not get up and not face the day and not move forward towards whatever it is that my brain is trying to tell me is doing that. Like, I dreamt that I was in this apartment, and I was like, there were no buildings, but I saw way out there that there was a tornado coming, and then I was like trying to run to escape the tornado. I was like, okay, we have to go. It's coming. We can see it. And it was me and my partner and my some lady that I don't remember who that was, and a kid who I don't remember who it was. And we were all in this apartment, laying in bed for some reason, just all of us sleeping. And I woke up first, and I was like really upset about something else. And so I woke Julian up, my partner, and we were talking. And then that's when I saw the tornado, and I was like, shit, we gotta go. So I grabbed my phone and my charger. I remember like these little details. Like, I grabbed my phone and my charger, and I grabbed my cat, and I went to go get my keys. And this kid, I don't know where the lady went, but the kid was still there, and I was like, we gotta go, me and you, let's go. And I was telling Julian, I was like, we have to go. Like, this is so. I might tell the story longer. We might start on the 40. But I was like, we have to go because I can see a tornado out there. And he's like, wait, let me text my parents and confirm with them. Let me check the weather. And I'm like, you're looking at your phone. Just look out the window. There's a tornado coming. I see it. And he's like, no, I have to get these answers. And he's looking at his phone and texting. And I'm like, well, shit, I got to go. So I take my cat, I take this kid, I take my phone and my charger, and I take some tarot cards. I take 2 decks of tarot cards. I take the one that I made, and I think I take the tarot of the Orishas. But that's vague. That's just what my brain is telling me now. But I definitely took the one that I made. And we go to the door, and I go to get my keys, which are usually hanging right by the door on a hook thingy, but they're not there. And I'm like, what the hell? Where are my keys? And my cat, what are you doing? Because I put her down, and now she's in the toilet, and it's like flooding, and she's like playing in the water. And I'm like, no, you can't do that. We gotta go. And so I grab her, and we go out into the hall. I open the door into the hall, and my keys are hanging on the door. Like, all of our keys are just on the door, and I don't know why. So I grab my keys, and take this kid, who I still don't know who it was, and we go to the elevator, and the elevators are still working, surprisingly. We're getting on the elevator, and we're like, me and my cat are going to the basement, and people are like talking and walking around the hall, and people are on the elevator, and they're just like, what are you doing? You're being really weird. And I'm like, there's a tornado coming, and no one's listening to me. And so we go into the basement, and then this kid is like, I have to find my parents. And so he goes off, and I never see him again. He goes off to find his parents. And I go into this room that's like this giant cafeteria. Our basement in our building doesn't have that. We have a bike room. We have a laundry room. We have this little weird room with like a ping pong table. We have a couple of like private rooms for like the personnel and stuff. But there is no like cafeteria hangout room, and there's also no like other room that was in my dream. So this is a weird basement that doesn't really exist. And there's this cafeteria, and all these people are in it, and they're like eating. I see people from high school, people from elementary, people, you know, from Mississippi, people from Chicago, people all over the place. In this place, like eating, talking, hanging out. I'm seeing old friends that I hadn't seen in years. I'm seeing friends that I saw like 3 weeks ago, some of my witchy friends, and like we're all in there eating. My cat's chilling, my cat's hanging out. My friend Mary was actually there. I haven't seen her in forever. We're still, I mean, we talk on Facebook on occasion, and I love her to death, but I haven't seen her in a while, and she was there, and I was really excited to see her. And it was just that. And so we were eating, and I was like, you know what, I have to go do this other thing. And so I leave the cafeteria after talking to some people, after seeing my friends and stuff, and they're like, here, we'll take care of you, we'll take you here. And so I was like, okay. So I went to this other room, which is also in the basement, and it was like this big cozy, it was like not huge, it was maybe the size of my apartment, but it had like chairs all over it and a big giant TV screen where people could hang out. And for some reason there were windows on one side of the wall, so we could still see the tornado coming. And the tornado's coming, and I'm like freaked out, and it's getting closer and closer, and it's like, I don't know, it wasn't a ton of us in that room because it wasn't super crowded, but we're all like freaked out. And I'm like, okay, maybe I should consult my cards and find out. And I pick up my cards, and I don't know what happened, but I never ended up reading them because I look back and the tornado's coming. And then it's like, I'm freaked out because I'm like, Julian's still upstairs. Like, I left Julian. He didn't come downstairs. I didn't see him in the cafeteria. He hasn't come down yet. He's still upstairs, and this tornado is literally at our doorstep. And like, I'm freaked out, and they're like, you can't go up there. And then that's it. The tornado hits the building, and it like, I can feel it rumbling the building, but it feels like it's like just going through the building, or like going over the building. I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's like the building wasn't going to fall down. Like, after the first tornado hit, I knew the building wasn't going to fall down, but I thought immediately the top of, or at least where we were, the basement, we weren't going to be hurt. But the top floor was like, that's caving in right now. I can feel it. Like it's happening. And I don't know if Julian's there. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. Oh my God, I have to go out there. And they were like, you can't go out there now. If it's caved in, there's nothing you can do. And I'm like, but I gotta. And just as we're like talking and arguing, another tornado like shows up and hits. And at one point, there was another tornado that was pitch black. It was like someone had painted it black. Like, it was like solid black. This in tornado form. Like, there was no like striations. You couldn't see the wind. There was nothing. It was just this black tube thing that was spinning and coming for us. And it hit the building again, and I'm so freaked out. And this whole time, we're like watching movies. I'm talking, in between, we're like watching movies. I'm talking to my cat. I'm talking to my friend Mary, who's talking about my cat. She was just like, it's really cute. She's really nice. And then the story is going to take too long. Just so I say, there was a lot of tornadoes. We tried to figure it out. At one point, one of the tornadoes blew the window out, and we tried to patch it up with pillows for some reason. We thought pillows would be the way to fix that window. So we just stuffed pillows in the glass in the hole. And at some point, I did finally leave that room and try to go find Julian. And he was coming out of the cafeteria room with a couple of my other friends. And there was this woman there, and she was like, looking at my outfit. I had this like witchy green thing that I own on, and she was like, oh, do you do tarot? And I was like, yeah, I do. And she like grabbed my hand and took my hand, and we were smiling, and that was interesting. But then I see Julian, and I'm still holding her hand, but I see Julian, and I'm like, hey, Julian, are you there? And I'm like this because he can't see me. He can't hear me. He's standing there with a big smile on his face, but he's like not there, and he's kind of doing this T-Rex thing that we do sometimes, like just kind of standing there like this, and smiling. And it was really, really scary, like just really weird. He didn't see me, he didn't hear me. And even later in that same movie room, he was like sitting way back with someone else. And at some point I thought I'd lost him, and I was like, where's Juliet? And I was like, there he was, same state, like quiet, can't hear, doesn't see. I don't know if he could, but he didn't respond to anything. And it was terrifying. And like, at some point I was like, I really need to check my cards, but I never got around to it. And like, it was just like he stayed behind, and I guess something had happened. I don't know. But I just remember waking up being really sad and really scared, and just really like feeling somehow, I don't know, beat up, because I was in the basement of a building, and my building got hit by like 8 tornadoes. So anyway, it is the 40, and we've been here for about 30 minutes. So let's do a 20-minute sprint this time. And your prompt is: a natural disaster hits. What does your character do? Or how does your character respond? All right, and go. And that was 20 minutes. How did you guys do? I was able to write 426 words in that 20-minute section, which is great. If I was writing a book, that would be awesome because I'd be that much closer to a book, but I am still that much closer to a full course, scripted and ready for recording, which I think what I will do once I have it all scripted is just go ahead and record all of it. My problem with that is that when I go back and listen to the things that I recorded, I hate them, and so I inevitably delete them and then have to record them again anyway, which is what I did with this last lesson that I'm working on. Because it's like the longer I wait, the less, polished it sounds to me, I guess. And it's like I need to do it now and record it and make myself sound polished again. But it went well. I'm on this particular lesson or lecture, I guess, that I'm scripting is a relatively long one compared to the others in this module, I think. Well, I guess the first one is pretty long too. So it's not the longest, but there's still a lot to go. So I feel like it'll be the longest by the time it's done, because I am talking about tools of the trade, tools of the craft, and there are a lot of tools. I'm trying to stick to the ones that I feel are essential, but I also don't want to be like, these are the only tools you need, you know? And so I have to say the things in the right way. And I also have to explain what these tools are, how they work for anyone who's never heard of them, because there are some pagan tools that people have never heard of. And I'm mostly focusing on Wiccan related tools and tools that are for the altar. So that makes it a little bit easier, but it's still, you know, it still takes a little bit of effort, a little bit of research, a little bit of time I have and don't want to spend on research. You know what I mean? So let me know in the comments how you've done, how this whole session has gone, and we'll do one more sprint, and then I think I'll call it a night. I mean, I'll keep writing and keep working on this, but I think I'll call it a night for the camera thing, because like last time, I have this flashy light up here. See, if I cover it, you can't really see. So I have this light up here, and it's really, it's a white light, like it's bright. It's a selfie light. It's like one of those ring lights, and it hurts my eyes. I am a night person. I'm a dark person. I barely see the sun if I don't have to. If I don't have to go out, you know. I should go out more, but like, I like it dark. And just that little flash of light, it's like my eyes are just like, no, please, no. So we'll see what happens. So let's see. It is almost the 5 now, so we'll start on the 10 because it's about 5 minutes. Let me know what that was like for you. And yeah, it's just it's not like, you know, it's not fiction writing, so it's a very, very different thing. And I hate nonfiction writing, or I hate doing nonfiction writing about like writing. I don't like writing about writing. I know a lot of writers do. But when it comes to nonfiction, I hate writing about my process. I like talking about it, but I hate writing about my process. I hate like writing out like, what is theme, what is mood, what is how do you make a good opening scene, how do you make a good closing scene? Like, we have that information, it's out there, and I am not the person you need to ask about that, because I don't know, I just write what I write, and whether it's good or bad, someday maybe I'll figure out how it's good or bad. But for the most part, I don't think about it when I'm drafting my first draft. And even later on, I don't think about it that much. I really think about how I can make the story that I'm writing, especially like with like Lullaby of the Lilitu and the book I'm writing, but even with short stories. My main concern is how to make the story I'm writing enjoyable for me to read. And I know that seems weird or selfish, but the way I see it is no one's unique. None of us are on our own. Like, we exist, we don't exist in a vacuum. We exist as a part of the world, as a part of everyone else. And everything, every little aspect that makes you you comes from outside, or like comes from your spirit too. Like, if you believe in past lives and all that stuff. But like, everything that we know, at least on the surface, comes from something that we've experienced or interacted with, or known or understood or read or heard or blah, blah, blah. So I like to think, because of that we all come from, we're all connected. I'm not unique. I'm not special. I'm not unique. I'm not anything that's like whatever. I just write what I write, and if I like it, then there are going to be probably a good 100 other people who like what I like to read. And that's how I approach it. It's like, if I like it, then someone out there who likes what I like is going to like it. And so I worry less about reaching a specific market. I worry less about writing a certain way, or fitting certain criteria. I do want to make a good story, so I do understand story structure, and I do read a lot of nonfiction about writing, but I can't write it. I can't explain it to you when it comes to my own writing. It just is there. I don't even know genres. So like, how am I supposed to write about writing when I don't know anything about writing? I do it, but I don't know crap about it. So I would rather write my nonfiction about pagan things. Even so, it's hard. I don't like writing nonfiction in general, and I guess that's just because it's hard. Because in school I had to write so many essays and I had to do like so much, and I still want to write essays. I still want to do this writing. I just don't like it, and that's hard for people to understand because I do a lot of stuff that I don't like, and people are like a couple of weeks ago I was talking to someone, and I think I mentioned this on another live chat, but I was like, I don't like cold water. Like I mean I drink it, but I don't like showering in it. I don't like it touching my skin if it doesn't have to. I do not like, unless it's like a really, really, really hot day, not into cold water, or I go swimming, obviously. But I'm just, no, no, no. However, every day when I wash my face, I splash ice cold water on my face. Whenever I take a shower, which isn't every day, but when I do, at the end of my shower, after the whole bathroom is like full of steam to the point that no one can breathe if they walk in, I will run super cold water all over my body, and it is not a pleasant feeling, but I know it's good for you. I know it can help with like your heart rate. I know it can help with comfort, especially if you're doing it before bed. And I especially do it because cool water, cool temperatures close up my pores, and when I forget to do that, then I have all kinds of skin problems because my skin is super soft and super sensitive. So I have to seal it up, so to speak, with cold water, but I hate it. And like people don't understand that. Like I do a lot of things that I don't like because I think they're good for me, or because I've seen the results that they are good for me. Like I'll eat honey when I'm sick. I hate honey. Like hate it. I don't like I don't like its aftertaste. I don't like it on my tongue. I don't like the way it smells. It makes me nauseous just thinking about it. Honey is gross. But it has so many medicinal benefits that if I'm sick, then I will crush a clove of garlic and put it on a spoon, pour some honey on that spoon, and shove it in my mouth. It is not pleasant. It is not fun, but I do it because it is good for me. And that is the same with nonfiction writing. I do it because it is right for me, because it is something I need to do, because it's something my soul needs to do, whether or not I like it, whether or not I enjoy it. So that's kind of how every experience goes when I'm writing nonfiction. So we have 1 more minute until the 10, probably less. And I am going to start the timer. We're going to do another 20-minute thing. Then that's the last sprint. I am going to chat a little bit after the sprint. So if you do have any questions, let me know. Put them in the comments. But yeah, this is our last sprint of the night. Last time for me and you, and then I'm going to keep working on this until I finish this particular lesson, and then I'm going to move on to editing the video that I started working on yesterday for the second Udemy course, mini course lesson, and after I do that, then I am probably going to be done working for the night, because it has already been about, before I started, I was working for about 40 minutes, and it's already been about an hour here now. So about 2 hours, and then that video is going to take about 3 or 4 hours minimum. So then I'll be done. All right, we are at the 20 minutes on the clock. Let's do it. Let's do it, son. Woohoo! We did it! So I was able to write 431 words in that 20-minute sprint. Hello, that was 20 minutes. We did it. And I was also able to finish that module in that lesson. So I have the final module, which is just a recap of what went on and like a final lesson. Each recap section, each last module has like a final mini activity to be done that will be addressed at in a later lesson. So it's like building up something to get there so that when you're at that lesson, you've already done a lot of the prep for it. So that's like an 8-month project, basically. And so, yeah, that part's going to be pretty simple. The module I just finished was not that simple. It wasn't hard either. There was a lot to remember, but most of it was like based on my experience, based on what I've written, but I try not to look things up too much if I can help it. Like I'll look up facts, I'll look up history, like timelines, but if I can help when it comes to because I was writing about the tools of magic, when it comes to how I use my tools, that's something I can't look up. That's something I can't like borrow someone else's ideas for. So that wasn't very hard. It was just having to remember certain things because some of the tools I have now, like I'm not a very traditional person in essence. I am traditional in action a lot of the time. So like my belief system is based on traditional traditional witchcraft and Wiccan witchcraft and traditional Celtic witchcraft. So that's how I started when I was like 12 and 13. I went into Celtic and then I went into Wicca. And then like when I was like 18 or 19, I found traditional witchcraft, which was traditional European witchcraft, traditional British witchcraft. And then in my 20s, I found African witchcraft and I found African American witchcraft, like hoodoo. And so it's a lot of different things. And so I can't really pull from any one source to explain how my craft works and what the tools I use are. So, which, I mean, I don't even know why I mentioned all those other types of witchcraft, because it's mostly Wiccan that I wrote about, because that's mostly what I do. But like, yeah, it wasn't difficult. It was just tedious. It was long. And that particular section, absolutely. The longest section other than this section was like 700 something words. I think I checked and it was like 735 or 755, something like that. This one is 1,719 words. So it is definitely the longest freaking thing that I've written. And I had already started writing a little bit before, like I said. So what I wrote during this section is only maybe 8, 9. Wait, I'm trying to do math. My brain does not like to do math fast. I'm so sorry. But it was 1,300 something or 1,030 something. Whatever. I'm not trying to do perfect math. I'm just trying to do quick math. But yeah, so a lot of words have been written in this last hour and a half, hour and 23 minutes. 1, 2, 3. That's a good sign. It means we're moving forward, moving up, and moving towards our goals. And I like that. We are in alignment, we are balanced, and we are doing the things that we are meant to be doing. That is what it means to me when I see 1, 2, 3. I'm aligned, I'm balanced, I'm doing what I need to be doing, I'm moving forward, I'm counting up. Now I just saw 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, which I know you guys don't care because it's a writing channel, but it's good luck. Take that good luck, take that good energy with you when you leave, and just kind of like let that permeate through the rest of your night and through your morning tomorrow. Like take good energy, good vibes with you, and try not to, I guess, have weird tornado nightmares that make your day start off harsh. I'm trying. I'm not going to let it like hold my whole day. Like it sounds like it has because it is 9:30 p.m. and I'm still talking about the dream I had, but it would make more sense if you knew what time I woke up, which was only a few hours ago. And so I woke up at like 4 something and stayed in bed for like another hour and a half, just like sad and kind of depressed and just being like, I don't want to get up. I don't want to be in the world anymore if that's what the world's going to do to me, if it's just going to beat me up with crazy tornadoes. If you know anyone or know anything about dreams, let me know what your opinions are on that dream that I had. I personally have some thoughts that freak me out. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that was our write-in. We are all good, in a good place. Everything's lovely. Everything's wonderful. I'm excited for being able to finish this next module. And then I'm going to, like I said, move on to creating another video for the course. And that's going to take a few hours with all the slideshows and stuff I already did. It's already been set up and it's already ready, but just getting everything to fall into place and getting everything to look good and typing up all the slides and all that stuff, that's just going to take time. It's not hard. It just is very, very, very time consuming. It's a job. It's work. And hopefully it pays off. I believe it will. I believe like people are going to support the course. And if you would like to support any of my efforts, my writing, if you'd like to help me with publishing the next book in this series, as well as Diva and any of my other future books, then please check out my Patreon, which will be linked in the description after this video is after the live. I'll go ahead and put my Patreon and all of my other links in the description. Please check that out so that you can support me on Patreon or buy cool t-shirts for Christmas. I think you have a couple more days to make your order. I think December 6th is the last day to make your order if you want things by Christmas. So you can get some t-shirts, you can get tote bags, you can get leggings, you can get phone cases. Just check out my Teespring store, which is in the description. All that jazz. Buy my book too, because that's the important thing. That's why we're here, right? Because this writing is about stories, it's about books, and honestly, I'm just so proud. So I'm gonna leave in like 4 minutes, so we can have a nice even 1:30. But I am so proud of this book, you guys, and it's not just because I wrote it, which obviously, anyone who writes a book should be proud. You should feel good, and you should talk about it, and you should share it with people, and you should feel proud of yourself, even if people are rude about it. Like, screw them, they don't matter. You wrote a book. You did. Whether it's published, whether it's edited, I mean, it should be edited before it's published, but whether it's just one draft that you wrote or you wrote 5 books and they're all in your dresser, you wrote books. You are a writer, and that's amazing. That's something to be proud of. And that is something I'm very proud of. Not just that I wrote a book, that I stuck with it 8 years, that I stuck with this story, that it stuck with me. Actually, I had put it down so many times and it would not let me go, and I had to keep coming back. The same with the seed idea for Diva. It wouldn't let me go. And so when I finally had an outline and an idea for that actual story, because I just had like a character and one scene in my head, when I had a full story idea, immediately I was like, all right, this isn't going to take 8 years. I'm going to finish this. And I did. This is 2 years later. I wrote out the full outline, the first ever outline for Diva in November of 2017. So, and then I finished it in November of 2017. 10 minutes or 10, was it? No, it was around the same, because I started it, I think, on like the 17th of November, 2017, maybe the 19th. But I finished it on like the 26th or 24th, 5th, something like that, of last month. And yeah, I wrote a second book, and I don't think I would have been able to write Diva or 10 Spells or well, Vladimir is a bunch of high school poems and newer poems. It's poetry. I write poetry all the time, but I don't think I would have been able to write books and publish books if not for Lullaby of the Lilitu. I certainly wouldn't have been able to finish Diva, I don't think, if not for this book having been finished first. And I was so proud of that. And I don't know if I would have been able to finish or start or even get to Scourge if I hadn't finished Diva. So, like, one book begets another book, and that's something to be proud of, and that's something that I'm so excited about, because I didn't know that this was a possibility. I didn't know that this was something that could be done. I had a whole different path, and then I kept messing up on those paths because none of them felt right. This feels right. This feels like it's something I should be doing. Writing is right. Writing is what I need to be doing. And Lullaby of the Lilitu, I just love this book, and I'm proud of it because it's a good book. And I'm not just saying that because I wrote it. It's a good book. It's well written, it's well structured, it's enjoyable. Anyone who's ever read it has complimented it. And they're not all my friends. Like, strangers who've read it, who don't know me, who don't know anything about me, have liked this book. And that's something that, like, when your friends and your family like something, it's really easy to be like, they're just saying that because they don't want to hurt my feelings, or saying that because they like me. But a total stranger on the internet, that is gold. A total stranger giving my book 5 stars, amazing, magical. And so it's a good book. And it is, because whenever I go back and read it, I get lost. Like, I'll go back and like look for a specific thing that I need to reference or need to add. Like, when I was outlining Scourge, I would like go back and look at something, and then the next thing you know, I've read 3 chapters because it pulls you in. And I've had multiple readers say, like, I got busy, I had to go to work, so I put it down after a couple chapters, but I picked it up again and I've been sucked in. And it's just like, good. That's what I want. I want it to suck you in and hold you and squeeze you. And this book, unfortunately, will not coddle you. It won't hug you and comfort you, but it will hold you and squeeze you tight. So that, I don't know, this is just something that I'm very happy about. I'm really proud of. Yesterday, actually, I was laying on the couch and I looked over at the bookshelf and I was like, that's my book. That's my book. And it's a really, really good book. And it's a gorgeous book. Like, look at this cover. I love showing you this cover. Look at this cover. And also, like, even outside of the cover, it is a gorgeous book just by merit of being this beautiful hardcover. Look at that. And I love this. I love hardcover books a lot. So like this one was for me. The one, if you buy a paperback, if you buy it on Amazon, you're going to get paperback. The only way to get this hardcover is from my website. And if you buy it on my website, you can get it signed. Same deal. If you do it by this weekend, you can probably get it by Christmas. I think that's what the website said. If you make an order not signed, if you order it signed, unfortunately, you don't have time to get it by Christmas because it has to come to me first, and that means it has to print and then come to me, and then I have to sign it, and then I have to send it out to you. So that takes a lot of time. But if you order it just from my website, I can go ahead and put that order through for you, and it should be just sent to you by Christmas. It takes about 2 weeks. So you have that time if you do it by this weekend. And everything else, I don't know what the deals are, but I do know on Teespring you can get a huge discount on all my items. And I also have this other like website that I will maybe bring up someday, but it's not really appropriate for this channel or any channel. It's not appropriate for anybody. And it's great. So yeah, that's it. That was our write-in. I loved it. It was a good time. I was able to finish something that I had been putting off, and I am almost done with this whole lesson. And this lesson is later in the course, so that means I am almost done with the whole course. And I'm very, very happy, very proud, and also very hungry. So I will see you guys next week. Have a beautiful and amazing week, and remember always, always that I love you. Take care. Bye. How do I turn this off? How do I turn this off? Click the button. Click the button.